Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. It's very profound. If you don't remember anything, remember this. So let's just round up with this. We're in a world where there's a lot of distraction. So it's the distraction of work, it's the distraction of taking care of the kids, running the home, then the distraction of the internet. So we're going to focus
Digital
on
distraction.
the digital distraction. So I remember at the early years of our marriage when you you complained about how I am more or I'm paying a lot of attention to my community online. And I'm always on the phone and all of that. And there are people who also have businesses that is largely dependent on their phones, and they have to also deal with clients even late at night, respond to messages and all of that. And we're in a digital era, so even businesses are largely connected, with phones. But it is also impacting negatively on marriages and on relationships. So you would see a man and a woman married on the bed, but they've spent 3 hours in different worlds on the internet. So this person is watching several things. This person is also watching several things, and they are not building physical connection. They are not building emotional connection between themselves. They are in their own marriage world, but they are also outside. So over a period of time, you find out that it becomes a habit, and the internet can really be addictive. And 3, 5 hours, 7 hours, two people are doing two different things, having conversations with different people, chatting with different people, watching different things online, and they're not building connections. And that is a huge, huge distraction for a lot of people. So, how should couples deal with this? I'll start with one thing, and then you talk about the other things. One of the things that we decided to do, especially during the early days of our marriage, was, I think it was the second year of our marriage, was that we had to agree on no phone days, where we had to keep the phone outside of the room and drop it in the basket. So we tell ourselves that, okay, today is our time, today is you and me, focus, no distraction whatsoever. And as we began to grow and manage our time on the internet, of course we got more busy, and so we don't sleep on on the internet. But then one other thing that we do is we are intentional about our time. So we have our time after the kids go to bed. We now have our time for each other. We know that this particular time after we put the kids to bed is for each other. And so we have a right to ask the other person, even if they are distracted or they are trying to reply to someone or watch something, to say, it's our time. Can we keep the phone and focus on each other? And I think that has helped, and that also doesn't mean that we don't have time to give each other freedom to do our thing and all of that, but it's just to say there's need for balance. The phone or the internet shouldn't pull you apart, it should bring you closer. So how it brings us closer is we always have reels that we share to each other, and we discuss it. Because sometimes even some of the things that I watch, we have to be careful of what we see on the internet, because some values may not be in line.
We've talked about that.
With the word of God that we believe in to be the final authority in our marriage. It could be that the mindset of this person or the value system is not in line, but it's bringing a lot of buzz on the internet, but we needed to talk about it and establish, just in case we've both seen it, and so we don't run with that opinion. So we have conversations about a lot of things, and we also share more of educational materials that will help us grow in our marriage. So like 70 to 80% of what we share are more related to how we treat each other, how we learn, values and, things that would help us build our marriage. So I would leave you to talk more, on things that couples should do to avoid distraction And even if they're using the internet, it is for their own good. So how can they avoid distraction and not allow the internet make them lose emotional connection? And also for them to maintain that emotional connection.
Thanks, babe. This is such an important question and conversation, because it's a real issue that people are dealing with in their marriages. And the I don't want to say simple, but it is simple answer to that question is to be intentional. So when we started, when we had that conversation earlier on in our marriage, what we did was to become intentional about how we use and how we consume digital media.
Yeah.
And just set boundaries. So that we do not become ourselves consumed by that thing. And so some of the boundaries that we set was time, right? Okay, at a certain time, this is family time. And so, because we're working from morning till evening, right? And so when we close from work, sometimes, people use digital media as a form of relaxation. We understand that. But we set a certain time, okay, this time is family time, dedicated or devoted to the kids. Then they go to bed, and the rest of that time is ours. There are times when we've said, okay, for the next 1 hour, it's phones aside.
Okay, yes, let's do us.
There have been times when it's let's do us. And then after that, you can, do what you want to do until you go to sleep. There are times when we said, okay, after the kids go to bed, 30 minutes, 1 hour, do what you need to do, like connect with your people, check the internet, do what you need to relax, and then the rest of the time till we go to bed is ours. But that's like regimented to an extent. The other thing, and you've talked a lot about that, the other thing I want to add, being intentional is one, and everything that you do, you must be intentional, even with what I want to add. What I want to add, and another thing that we do is, you see that what I said earlier about touch, sometimes it's a way to reach out to the other person to say, I want to connect. Sometimes I touch you. Sometimes I give you a look. Sometimes you give me a look, I'll catch that look. I might be on my phone, I'll catch that look from my peripheral vision, and I'll know that, okay, this man is trying to connect with me, and I'll put the phone down. And I look at you, and then we both just put our phones down and we start talking. So when your spouse or your significant other, which is your spouse, is reaching out, put that phone down. Even if it's for 5 minutes, put that phone cannot be as important as that person. So, which is why that recipe of TRRT, that touch might just not necessarily be a physical touch, it might be a look. When I'm reaching out to you seeking connection, how you respond to me shows how important. You respond to me shows how I feel you regard me, or you think I'm important to you. And so that's why if a woman is trying to seek connection and you're like, and you don't give her back, or you don't respond, or you're like, the way you, it sends a message to her. You might say I love you for 1,000 times, but that message that she receives at that time is that I am not as important in this moment. So the message you give to her when you respond, in like manner, which is to put everything aside and say, you matter more than this. It's so significant. So the second thing, and it still boils down to being intentional, is saying sometimes just recognize when the other person is trying to connect and put everything aside and say, this moment, that, because it may not be at night, which is why I added that, because we have that regimented time, but times during the day when I just need, I reach out and you respond. So that is really very important, that reaching out and responding and understanding. I think that's the final thing I want to understanding, because you responding is also a show of understanding, right? for me, and I'm saying me because it could be the man, it could be the woman. When I understand what you are doing with your phone. So you mentioned how some people, it's their business. Their business is on the phone, their work is on the phone. Sometimes they're not just scrolling through the internet and just whiling away time. Sometimes they're actually working or connecting with people, but it's, essential to their business or whatever. As the other person, I know what you're doing, and I understand, and I show that understanding, and I fill my time for that time period with something, knowing that we will come back because we have made a plan, or we have agreed that at certain times, we put the phone. So that third part of understanding is also, you can only do that if you have fulfilled 1 and 2, which is, I know that when he gets to 10 o'clock, for instance, or 9 o'clock, he's going to be mine, so I will show that understanding for the time that you're working, because I know that we have agreed at a certain time we're going to come back together. I will also show that understanding because I know that even in the midst of all of that, if I touch you or I give you a look, you will give me 5 minutes of your time, and even if you're not able to give me 5 minutes of your time in that moment because you're really busy, if I give you a look and you give me a look back and you just say I love you, or you just give me a kiss, it is enough in that moment. So all of these things are it still comes down to connecting emotionally. You just have to be intentional, you have to show understanding, you have to reach out, you have to respond.
It's very important to be very intentional about emotional connection. You can really get distracted and just be doing what you're doing, and you don't know that you're drifting apart emotionally. Reaching out, that touch that you give is it's a message you're sending or you're passing. And sometimes you just look at me and say, babe, we need to connect. I'm feeling like, we need to connect. So that is showing that sometimes we say my emotional bank account is getting low.
Oh, I just say I miss you.
Oh, you say
and it's
you
like,
miss
okay,
me.
we're in the same room, but I miss,
so those are like the messages that you can pass, because sometimes a lot of people keep quiet.
Yes.
They are acting it, but they are not saying it direct. And especially for men, most times men are poor at reading the mind of their wives. You should know that. Yes, I can.
Men are poor at reading the mind. How are they even supposed to read the mind?
So you expect women. You expect us to read your mind and know exactly what you're feeling,
I had to
what
grow
you're
out
saying.
of that expectation.
Because really, it's sometimes the man is clueless.
Yeah.
He's like,
Absolutely.
what did I do?
Yeah.
So it's important that you just say it.
Yeah.
If you say it, it saves everybody time. Instead of using 2 days to be acting how you feel, use 2 minutes to say how you feel and solve the problem. And everybody will just move on. So I like the fact that you always connect. You ask for that time, or you ask for that attention. You say, oh, my emotional bank account is, please come and feel it. That type of thing. So it helps to, once you know you're intentional, you're obligated to meet your partner's emotional need. You know it's an emotional need that you have to meet, and it's an obligation. So when they seek for that time, that attention, you drop what you're doing, especially if it's not urgent, or, there are times as well when you would give me that touch. I know what the touch is. And maybe I'm in the middle of replying an email. I don't want to lose my trail of thought, or I'm trying to work on a document, and I'll say, babe, just give me time to finish this. And once I'm done, I'll shut this laptop, and then we can, that is also to just take that permission to say, I see you, I hear you. You give that hug, give that kiss, hold them, look them in the eyes and say, I'll come back to this. Let me just finish what I'm doing. That shows that you have placed them above every other thing. But this has to just be done, so I can give you 100% of my time and attention, and my mind is not running on, especially if it's urgent and someone else needs it. You know, so it's to just show understanding, like you said, and just know that this person loves you, you love them, they're a priority, and they're obligated to meet your emotional needs. Once you have that understanding, and I like the fact that also we need to regiment some of these things, because routine, everyday routine helps. You know, having time for family, even your children needs emotional connection with you. So, you know, we have family time. We, together with the kids, we play with them, we spend time with them, we connect with them, know what their day was like, what happened in school, you know, just talk, play, jump around. We are also connecting with the kids, as we are connecting as a whole family now, and then we now have our time to connect with each other.
And they look forward to it.
They look forward to it.
Because it's a routine.
Yeah.
They look forward to it.
So because it's a routine, they look forward to it.
Yeah.
And it builds every day. Because it's a lifestyle. In the next 20 years, it's the memory that they would have. It's the same culture that they will also transfer to their own children and their family. Because they learned it, that this was how we used to do things in our family. It becomes a family culture and legacy. You know, so emotional connection is important, you know, for marriages, for couples, you know. And I think that everyone should pay attention to their partner and feed them emotionally and share their soul in a quality way. You know, they have to share their souls in a quality way, in a deep way. Emotions require deep connection, and we all can be available, because if you're not available, you can't connect. We have to be emotionally available for our partners. So this is where I stop. Yeah. So what concluding word would come from you?
I'm going to conclude by just writing off of that word, emotionally available, and just say that it, you know, when people complain that, oh, he's not emotionally available, she's not emotionally available, and it's like, okay, what is this emotional availability? Just listen.
Yes.
Listen, understand. Like, the recipe is very simple. Listen, understand. What does it take to, if someone wants to talk to you and you are willing to listen to them, sit with them and listen to them and ask them questions and just be present with them in that moment. Yeah. That's what it is to be available emotionally. It doesn't take so much. Sometimes you overthink it as I don't want to indict men, please, but sometimes men may overthink these things and think a lot is required. It's not a lot. Just listen and understand. Be present in that moment. Don't, because you know you might be distracted in your head. The conversation is going on and it's like, where is this going? Sometimes it's only women. It's only women that are guilty of overthinking. Men overthink sometimes too, because it's like we may take a while to get to the point, and in the man's head it's like, where is this heading? I'm
getting impatient.
Do you understand? So listen, be patient. Listen, be present, be patient. I'll cap it with the patient. Be patient.
Be patient.
And let the goal be to understand. So even as you're thinking, where is this going?
To understand.
It's a good, but be patient so that you can get to that where it's going, which is listen to understand. Because when you do, you'll be able to give an appropriate response. Be present. That's all it takes to be available.
Awesome. Listen to understand, be present, and be patient. Yeah. Right. So this is where we end this video, and I hope that you've been able to learn one or two things when it comes to building emotional connection with your partner and avoiding digital distractions and how to manage it. So you guys have a good time, and we'll see you next time.
We'll see you in the next video.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll be there.
Hopefully. Bye everyone. Take care.